Hello and welcome to how I play my level 65 Shaman in Everquest 1. We're gonna get into it pretty quick. So this is a carry on from the level 50, 55, 60, and this is the 65. So everything is kind of built upon that. A lot of the stuff is incremental from where we were before, so a lot of it is not going to change. And so on and so on. So we're going to go over spells, anything that changed down here, and then that's about it. There's not much to say. First up, I have Narg's Mending is my primary heal spell. I think there was another one I got. I think my spell set did not save. Hold on. Yeah, Dula does Mending. Yeah, I thought that was right. Alright, so apparently it didn't save when I saved it. I got kicked to zone line, or kicked out of the world, and stuff didn't save. So there we go. Dulata's Mending does 2100 damage heal. This is my big tank heal, if you will. I just pretty much spam it on the tank to make sure he stays alive. With all our extra stuff, we can see that this is gonna probably be healing for... not gonna tell me since he's got full life, I guess. But, you know, it's gonna heal for criticals a lot of the time, so that's really good. Next up, I have Balance of Nihil. Yeah, Nihil. This is just a slow... it seems to have a nice magic resist modifier, so it's pretty easy to land. I don't slow in most fights, so this is not something I do a lot of at the moment. When I get the AA slow and the AA mallow, that'll change. But right now, I was reserving this for named, but we cut through named like we cut through common mobs at the moment, so it's not a big deal. Next up, I have 3 dots. The first dot here is Blood of Sarin. This is an add-on from Ancient Bane of Knife, which we used at, I think, level 60. So this is like the upgrade to it. This is 813 a tick. So if we click this on here, right, see how much damage we get out of this guy here. So 1,000 damage from a non-crit with all the modifiers and AA stuff. If we take a look at the AAs while we're watching this tick around here, right, we get... where is it? There is an AA. Oh no, I have Can Activate on. That's why I don't see it. Let's see here. Destructive Cascade. No, we didn't get that one yet. Critical Eviction. So this gives us a chance to get critical strikes. You can see there. Pretty much doubles the damage. Now, we should have modifiers eventually on our bracers. And I believe our ranged item for poison and disease. So eventually we'll get more damage out of this, but right now we don't. I don't really dot that much either, so my dots are mostly display at the moment. Sometimes I'll throw them on, but again, mobs are dying faster than 1 minute and 24 seconds per mob, so it's almost pointless to do anything with it. Now, I could switch to direct damage, but it's just not worth the effort, in my opinion, at this point in time. So the next step is Breath of Ulthar. This does 435 damage a tick, plus whatever it crits and gets bonus added to it for. So I'll just let that one go. And then finally I have Bane, which does an 800. An 8 to 900 for 30 seconds. Pretty quick casting spell, right? If we throw them all on, right, you can kind of see here we got almost 2,500. Let's just call it rounded out at 2,500 a tick. So it's not damage to joke about, right? This is that's like serious damage, right, for our level. We can definitely do some work with that damage. Now, it would be better if we were solo with this character. I mean, we just crit for 2,200, which like literally doubled what it was doing, right? You know, it's just like crazy. So that, and then we have Spirit of Leopard, which puts a proc buff on our character. Let's I'll do my pet because that'll make more sense. So if I take my pet, I send it at this level 65 mob, and just throw my pet on there. Now we should, if we get a little closer, we should start seeing some crits here. Should see spell damage from that, theoretically. The pet is a spell we cast, so it's doing like 60 damage, but he's missing a lot spell damage. It's not really hitting. I just don't have the right filter there. There we go. It is hitting. It's just filtered over there. So let me fix that real quick so this is a little bit easier to see. Let's see here. Direct damage. It's gonna be others. Yeah. Let's just ignore that out because you can't filter it by your pet. You can see there it's doing a 300 damage proc, right? It's pretty frequent on players. I don't know, this pet seems to like miss a lot. See? But you can see it's 300. I don't think the pet can crit. The players can crit. So like if we put it on, let's put it on my Shadow Knight Hobbs here. Never mind. he's buff capped. Let's put it on Stasi. There we go. Stasi the Beast Lord. So go over here and watch her thwack this guy. Let's see, that's gonna be spell damage right here. Right, that should be there. There we go, 300. We should be able to get a crit with her, in theory. It feels like it's proccing a little bit more on her than it is the pet. But definitely worth having on a character, right? I'm taking a little too much time on this one spell. But it's definitely worth casting. Now, I believe at like the next level, like 70, we're going to get one that is a group one. Now, that one changes everything. That changes the entire way that I play these characters, right? Because that means everybody will be getting... Is this one? No, maybe it's like 75 or 80. At some point, we get one that does it on everybody. Now, if you think about that, 300 damage on everybody in the group in a group-wide, group spell. Now, I have 1, 2, 3. I don't see them. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 pets that can all proc a 300 damage proc when this becomes the group one. Because at 65, we got Companion Suspension, which makes our summoned pet a valid target for beneficial spells. As you can see, the pet over here has all these spells on it. So, definitely crazy. Crazy damage coming out of that. So next up I have Breath of Thrushar. Now this is our new torpor. There is multiple versions of this, right? Duration heals. There's one at 65 called Quintessence, and then Breath comes later. So this one's in Plains of Power. I think this one's in Omens of War or Gates of Discord. One of those expansions they added in there. If I can... Oh, it's already moved. Load group. There we go. So it's just the upgrade. This I get 200 more per tick, so it's a nice little heal. I like to use it mostly to heal like anybody but the tank. But now it doesn't have any negative effects on it since it replaced Torpor, so it is definitely something that I'm going to be casting a lot more of as we go forward. Theoretically, we're going to get a group version of it soon, and I will never cast a single target one again because of the way I play. But definitely worth casting on everybody now, because it's not going to slow them down. It's not going to do anything. It's all around a good heal over time. And then I have Cannibalize 4, which is a level 58 spell, but we don't have a new Cannibalize yet. We don't get a new Cannibalize until Pained Soul, or Pained Memory, I guess, at 68. So it's, you know, not that great, right? Because you go from, I think this is Kunark, maybe Velius, all the way until Gates of Discord. I think it's Omens of War, Gates of Discord. Let me check real quick. Achievement, come on, really? Oh, it's like hidden down here at the very bottom of the screen. Yeah, so Omens of War is the expansion where you go to, the level cap goes to 70. So it's not until then. So from Velius or Kunark all the way there, that's a long time not to get a new Cannibalized. Now, we do get Cannibalized 5 via the Luckland AA here, but the next upgrade to that is at 72 in, oh gosh, I don't even know what expansion that would be. What does it say? Serpent Spine. So really, really a long ways in between. So I'm keeping it on my bar. Now, I don't use it as much as I probably should, but it is definitely useful. I try to cast it when I can. I have it on 2, nothing else, and none of my characters have anything else multi-bound to 2. So while I'm doing other things, he can also cannibalize while I'm pushing 2, while I'm pushing 4, right? It works out, and you know, just like extra mana to keep him at least 75% mana at all times. And then I do keep regen memorized at all times. This is Blessing of Replenishment, which is the group version of regen. It's just an extra 58 HP per tick, trying to keep us, you know, as high as we can. I'm at a 120 HP per tick right now, which almost probably negates like anything from the Cannibalize at this point. Right, I Cannibalize, I'm at 98.8, right? That's going to take me up. I'm already 100%. So it's useful in that sense to just always have regen on. It's the most efficient heal in the game because it just works and it lasts for more than a second. All right, so that's like my normal everyday carry spell set. Now, I do have other spells I cast. I cast Talisman of the Boar, which is the group stamina buff right here. So this one just gives everybody stamina. Focus of the 7th, which is our current level focus. So it's just an upgrade over the other one, which increases hit points, strength, and dexterity. So it's a nice one to have. As I said, I have a pet, right? So True Spirit is the level 60-ish pet. I don't remember what level. Let's see here. 61. So it's the level 61 pet. I keep this up at all times. I don't send it into attack because of the way I have a lot of this set up. I've just recently changed some of the buttons on this character. We'll go over that in a minute. But for the most part, he doesn't do anything except for if I get hit, then he jumps in and does stuff. And it seems to work out pretty well that way. But since I have the pet out, gotta haste the pet. Spirit Quickening is the pet haste, which is from level 50. So it's really, you know, bare minimum kind of stuff there. Then I have Spirit of the Belai. This is a group attack buff, Spirit of Wolf. At this point, the Spirit of Wolf buff is not really useful because we don't need that. One, because I run a bard and I have Cello's accelerating chorus at all times, but also without accelerating chorus, we do have run speed 3. You know, I think we have run speed 5 now. Yeah, improved run speed 5, which is 35%, which is, I think, equivalent to the Spirit of Wolf line of spells. So it's a little bit of attack. That's about it. But My Shadow Knight here, you can see he's buff capped at the moment, so I can't even put any more buffs on him. I think he has it on him. He doesn't even have anything on him like I want. I had to like purposely go out of my way just to get Hand of Virtue to land on him from the Mercenary. So it's a real pain in the ass right now being buff capped, especially as Shadow Knights because they have so many self buffs and stuff like that. I don't remember having that issue with my Paladin as bad as I'm experiencing it now. All right, so let's go into the bars. What has changed here? So as I said, Cannibalize 2 is here on the 2 button, but I've recently added Pet Attack into my multi-bind for 4, which all it does is target the assist target, sends the pet swarms, and then Spirit Call. Spirit Call is an AA, which summons more creatures. So it's a swarm pet, you know, AA, so it might as well get it out there when we can. Hopefully this doesn't interfere, because the only time I'm doing anything on this character when I'm spamming 4 is when I'm trying to dot or debuff or heal extra people. So I don't think it's going to be too big of an inconvenience, but it might be, and I'll have to take it out. I'm considering moving it to 6, since it's kind of a standalone. I don't think anybody else has anything on 6. So, yeah, so what do you have on 6? Spirit Siphon, yeah. So 6 might be the right button for this. I just haven't decided yet. And I'm going to test it out over the next 5 levels, and then once I am satisfied with how that's functioning, to get that out there. Just one, so the pet's getting out there and attacking, right? It's not a big deal right now, because I don't have the mini line of spells on the mage, so I'm not having a DPS loss because the shaman pet's not attacking. Other than the loss of DPS it has. And I don't have group Spirit of the Leopard or whatever that's called to actually land that proc on all the pets at the same time. So right now it's not a DPS loss, but eventually it will be a DPS loss once the mages get the mini NI group, get the group version of Leopard. So that's something to consider, and how you set some of this stuff up. I was trying to figure out how I could get it into like my debuff button and stuff like that. I just have a pet attack there. My dot button's pretty full, but I do have pet attack inside there, but I don't have Spirit Call or Swarm. So it's just one of those things that, it is what it is. Now I could multi-bind numpad 4. So that both of these fire at the same time, and it might work, but at the same time this is like more of a complex macro, and usually those don't work. So moving it to 6 would probably be the smartest thing I could do, but I'm going to test it out and see how that works. I've kind of gone on long enough about that. So the rest of the bar is pretty much the same. 5 just heals the tank, which X target 20. The mages got mod rods summon spell, so now I do use the mod rods on when I do that, so that'll automatically use the mod rod whenever it's available, and I will make those available too. So down here we have our multi-bind, which is bound on 5 only. So when we push 5, we're going to do heal, we're going to do cannibalize, and we're going to do Call of the Ancients. Now, Call of the Ancients summons a Ancestor Award to heal 130 health every 6 seconds to everybody. So it's just a nice little heal. It's a 20-minute reuse, so it's going to get blown a lot. But, I used to save it in like a burn button or something like that, and I realized I was never using it. And one, it was like slowing down when I would try to burn. Like, there are just so many of those little random things you're clicking. And I wasn't getting to like the meat of the burn, and I was spending more time activating all the stuff than I was doing that. So now, for the most part, most of my policy is just use everything all the time. If it's up, it's up, right? You go into a mission, you're fighting like something like Zlandikar or you know, the final boss of Final Food, everything is gonna be up, right? like you wait long enough between, you know, things, you're gonna have stuff up, right? It's just a matter of, you know, not caring too much about it. And I save stuff like Spire and stuff like that for actual burn buttons, which are more specific. All right, let's see here. That's that. My debuff button is the same, just X target 19, and then cast slow. I do it twice just in case it doesn't work, like a fizzle or something, and then pet attack. Dots, it's just all the dots, right? So if I go over here, target this dummy. Actually, let me target with him. So I target the dummy, I just hit the dot button, and he's gonna cast that. It sends the pet in, pet's attacking, and it's just gonna cast all the dots, which works out pretty well. You know, so you know, 2,500 damage a tick for not much effort. So as long as it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then I have a short duration button here to cast Panther or Leopard onto the tank, which is just that. Here in the next 5 levels, we're going to get Lingering Sloth or whatever it's called, which is a slow proc that the tank gets, right? So when the tank gets hit or, you know, does damage, whatever the proc is, it's going to slow the mob, which will almost like do a lot of work for me that I don't have to slow anymore. But you know, it is what it is. I have the Beast Lord is slow on the same button, so whoever slows first is going to slow. I might change that later on, but I haven't decided. And then everything else is pretty much the same. These 6 buttons here just cast Torpor, the Breath of Thushar, and on each member of the X target. Everything else is exactly the same. Now, I did put buttons for Radiant Cure, which just cures everybody. It's a group cure, and then Virulent Paralysis. This will root and knock something back. I don't know how good it is at this level. I know the Necromancer version of this took a while to become useful. I think this one has a 2-minute reuse, and it only lasts for 2 minutes or something like that. Eventually you can like cast it on multiple things before the first one wears off. But it's almost like a permanent root, if you will. So it's pretty nice. We might use that if we have to do some CC, but the way I'm playing right now, I'm not doing any CC. So it's we'll see how that actually wears out at the end. But other than that, that is everything for the Shaman. He is a healer. He's been able to keep up, done everything 1 to 65 so far. Obviously, we are, you know, overgeared for a lot of the content, but we are no longer overgeared for the content. We are undergeared for the content. You know, using Velius raid gear is not overgeared for Planes of Power Plus content, so we will be focusing on trying to get more Flawed Defiant, along with, I think, the next tier of the tower gear here. So right now this is the 55 gear. Ideally, we want to find some elaborate Defiant gear. That's where we want to head with that. And start replacing some of this stuff. I do want to get the Shaman Epic 2.0, and so that is going to be something we're going to be working on at either start working on at about 70. It might be 75 because we won't be able to do Citadel of Anguish until 75 to 80 anyway, like with 6-man versus, you know, like a full raid, because it is a full raid at the, I think, level 70 level. So that is going to be, you know, something we have to consider. But at 75 to 85, we will start getting 2.0 epics on all these guys, and those videos will pop out for all that and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. I'm gonna have to probably focus on getting armor. Now I plan to progress 75 to 105. doing mostly the broken mirror. So if we look at that now, the broken mirror doesn't have a lot of experience in it, in the sense of doing some of this stuff, right? If we look at it, like partisan here, it's not as much. Well, this is 100% because we're lower level, but we're gonna go through some of this stuff. We might have to do gribbles and you know, random zones to also augment that, but I do plan on doing that. So our gear will be mostly TPM gear, I think, as we progress through this, which should give us a nice and set up for the future here. But that's all I got for the 65 Shaman. That's how I play him. That's how I plan to move forward with him. We will have another video at level 70 where we will talk about where we went from 65 to 70, and then where we're going, just like this. And if there's any questions or comments or something I need to cover in the level 70 video that I'm missing now, please let me know. Leave a comment and I will address that. I play a Shaman pretty much every time I play through, and this is, I think, the first time since the very first time I played through the game I've had a Shaman as the soul healer. Usually I have like a druid or some other class, so there might be something I'm missing here, but we will work through it together. Thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.